to another episode of Sports Talk for You. I am your host, Aaron Bell. I got my other co-host, Adam Parker Armon Ely, with me. Tonight, we are going to talk about Shocker basketball. Of course, the big news, Gregg Marshall still under investigation for misconduct of former team members. The big thing tonight is an article that came out having Xavier McDaniel in it, giving support to Gregg Marshall, talking about how great of a coach he is, just being there all those years with Gregg Marshall, the dedication to his team, the passion that he gives. So Xavier McDaniel is backing up Gregg Marshall, and out of all those other guys that were on the list, it had Aubrey Sherrod on there, who was one hell of a basketball player back then for Wichita State as well. So what does this mean? Because Jeff Goodman, we know, is trying to get Gregg Marshall fired as much as he can with all of his tweets and his columns and stuff. But what does this mean to the Shocker community with X-Man coming out with this article and Aubrey Sherrod being on that supporting list?
First things first, Jeff Goodman's trash. And you can put that on Twitter, tag him, because that's all he's done is absolutely trashed. Trash. Seems like he has a personal vendetta against Gregg Marshall. Jeff Goodman, I want you to listen. You are straight garbage. Straight up garbage.
Yes, because where was his tweets when, sorry, I can't think I just lost it. Rick Pitino, when he was going through his stuff. Where was his tweets when Jim Calhoun got, of course, I don't know if it was or not Calhoun got his, but still, where's all of his tweets with these other teams? But, Gregg Marshall comes out and all of a sudden Jeff Goodman goes crazy.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me at all. And especially when he's coming after you with, well, you condone all this stuff. No one condones it. The problem is he hasn't seen the full evidence of it all. And you know what? I'm tired of hearing players getting bribed to do stuff, whether it's to either go to a university with the FBI investigation, hi Arizona, yeah, my team, or come out against a coach who's been there for 13 years trying to bring a winning culture there. Now, don't take me wrong. I understand, using a racial slur or even, choking out a player is not good. I mean, I get it. Anybody will tell you that it's not good. But you know what? Just to do it based on hearsay with no video evidence or what have you, or just wait until all the evidence is out is really just basic terrible journalism. Terrible journalism 101.
He said he talked to 33 of the 36 players were against Gregg Marshall. But my thing is, only 2 of those players came out, Tyrod Taylor, Shaq Morris. He put quotes from them. Now, he can put quotes from other players. Does he have to name their names? No, he doesn't. But why didn't he put quotes from the other players that were speaking against Gregg Marshall? That's my thing. If you talk to 33 of 36 and they came back saying, put quotes in there. What did they say? What did they say during your interview? If you don't have quotes or anything like that, people aren't going to believe you.
It's because they didn't take the $50,000 that he probably was offering.
I'm not going to sit here and say that's true because, I heard it, but I don't know if it's true. We don't know. It could be, most likely possible. But why now? Why 5 years later? Maybe because Shaq Morris is in the NBA, so he doesn't have a career to ruin. Is that maybe why he came out now?
In a lot of situations, stories like this comes out years later. Just take a look. I'm not comparing Wichita State with the Michigan State deal, but look how long for that to come out. They're apples and oranges. Don't get me wrong. I want to say, what's happening at Wichita State is worse than what happened in Michigan State. I'm not saying that, but some of these things, in a lot of these cases, come out years later. And, the troubling thing is, for me, it's kind of, unsettling is, Pat Chambers at Penn State got fired, or not, he didn't get fired, but he resigned on allegations that were, less than what Gregg Marshall has, being, accused of.
Well, let's go back to the Rutgers coach a few years ago. He had official evidence. They had video of him throwing the balls at guys' heads and actually pulling them to the ground. My thing
Yes,
is there's no
exactly.
video evidence on Gregg Marshall.
Right. And as long as you don't have video evidence, it's kind of hard to prove these allegations.
Yeah, now
Right.
I did hear that, there's apparently audio of Gregg Marshall going up to Shaq Morris saying, "Hey, what can we do to hide this?" But that I don't know if that's true or not either. But I really, how similar is this to the Jody Adams thing at Wichita State when she got pretty much pushed out and fired from Wichita State? Because that happened that year, I believe. So those girls came straight forward, if I remember.
Right. Well, the thing about it is apples and orange with the women's program and men's program. Men's program is going to command a lot of attention, a lot of cash money. Let's take a look at it. You have 10,000 at Shocker men's basketball games. You have maybe on a good day 3,000, 4,000 at a women's college basketball game. That's where your difference is right there. It's called straight cash money, homie. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, Adam, let's get to the Arizona. This has been going on for, God, it feels like 10 to 15 years, but it's really only been 3 to 4 years. The whole Sean Miller thing, the FBI investigations, DeAndre Ayton, we all know what happened that year. Of course, he didn't care about losing in the NCAA tournament because, he was getting paid. Technically, there was never really any official evidence besides the wiretap on Sean Miller. So, and that was, I believe, Jeff Goodman had a couple of articles on that as well.
Yeah, he might have, but it was mainly Schleba. I believe that's how you say his name on ESPN. But the point of the matter is this: they said they had a wiretap on Sean Miller saying, "Oh, I'm paying $100,000 to DeAndre Ayton." That's never came out. It just hasn't. And what's funny to me is they say, "Oh, I have a source, who is close to the investigation." Well, let me tell you something. They wouldn't allow the university to listen to these quote unquote wiretaps. Okay. They just wouldn't. So what makes you think a reporter's inside source is going to hear that? It makes no sense. That's why it's just like best just to let it all come out, and yeah, I find it completely asinine that an investigation has gone on for 3 years and still no resolution to it all, and yeah, I just, you got the Kansas situation, and Bill Self still coaching, LSU, that guy's still coaching.
Well, by the way,
Everybody else has been
can we get to the point
implicated in
that
this.
De Souza got charged with battery, if I remember, this last week or so? So apparently
Yes,
that's like throwing chairs. But
yeah, but it's a fiasco. The whole thing is, I don't understand why it's taken this long, and but it just cracks me up because obviously the Gregg Marshall thing takes what, 1 month, and then there's supposedly almost a resolution to the whole thing
well,
yet.
not only that, but
Think about it
here's
is
my
when
thing.
you dealing with FBI stuff. Granted, that's going to take a while. That's how it is with the FBI and all that. All that business. It's going to take a while. With the Shocker investigation, that take a couple months to wrap up, but the FBI likes to take its time.
Yeah. Well,
Because
here's my
their
thing.
reputation's on the line and they want to screw up anything.
Here's my thing
Right.
about Gregg Marshall. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know they brought that law firm in from St. Louis. I heard he's a really great guy. He's a hell of a lawyer. But in my opinion, if they would have found something by now in these last 3 weeks, wouldn't they already have told Marshall that you can't coach, you can't keep practicing with the team if they would have found something by now?
Probably not necessarily. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes that we don't know. With that situation, then if they find something, they're not gonna come out the next day like, hey, blah blah blah. With formal investigations, they gotta have their I's dotted, T's crossed. That's why this stuff takes so much time to get it all worked out. And for me, it has, let the investigation play, let the whole thing play out, see what happens.
Exactly.
I'm standing by Gregg Marshall. I think he's innocent. He's innocent to proven guilty.
Exactly.
Right. Just like I'm standing by Sean Miller till I see more evidence, because
Hey,
quite frankly,
you never know how many sweaty shirts Sean Miller's gone through in the last years. So.
exactly. But yeah, I mean, the two investigations, they're all apples to
Well, let's not
oranges.
forget, what's the LSU coach's name? Wade?
Wade.
I mean, we all know what happened to him that year. Then he was able to coach. I don't know if he came back that year or if he had to wait till the next year, but he came back right away. So that investigation panned out.
Yeah,
Well,
he missed a few games, but I think he came back that year.
yeah, I mean, he did the Sean Miller, just you're out for a couple games and then came back.
And then you got Duke with wanting to investigate Zion, but now they're saying that, oh, we don't need to investigate him. Coach K doesn't need investigated. So, I mean, who knows? You can't
Yeah.
Zion wasn't paid. But now let's just, like Jay Billis said when he was on the show, guys are getting paid. They're going to get paid in college basketball. It's happening. It's been happening for God knows how many years. It's just a matter of getting caught. If you don't get caught, okay, you're 4 years, you got paid, hallelujah, you can go to the NBA. But if you get caught, bam, you're under investigation.
It comes down what the situation is. I hear from Jim Rome since I listened to the show. If you're not cheating, you're not trying, and it's only cheating unless you get caught. Plain and simple. That's professional, college, and even high school sports for you. Straight up.
So I mean,
Jim Rome, baby. Listen to Jim Rome.
Yeah, love Jim Rome.
Shout out to Jim Rome.
Gregg Marshall on a couple of times, so it's been nice.
Jungle Karma, baby.
Yeah. So
tag Jim Rome on this. Jim Rome, I got your back. I listen to you every day at lunch.
Sorry, I didn't know you guys were still talking. My end was kind of thinking it was silent. My bad. But anyway, no, I'm just gonna say this: the guy who was testifying on the stand in the Sean Miller, case with Book Richardson, went on the stand and said, "Don't think Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina don't have their cheating system because they do." They were just trying to get Kansas, Arizona, and some of the other top schools to fall into their system. So
yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
it's just a fiasco.
it is what it is.
If you talk to Dick Vitale, Duke did its little own investigation, and everything's innocent for Coach K and Zion.
Yeah. So it is what it is. I mean, again, innocent until proven guilty right now for Gregg Marshall. He's got a lot of Wichita State fans standing behind him, including Armand and I, and Adam. I know you probably stand behind him too. So, Adam.
And I know Mike Kennedy, for once, he's standing behind him. I know he is.
Yes.
Mike Kennedy has tweeted out support for Gregg Marshall, and I know my man Dave Dahl, he will support.
Yes. So, all right, that's going to do it for our show. Again, we'll just see how this investigation pans out. We're not going to come to a conclusion on who should be guilty, who's lying, who's not lying. Sources will come out. They'll come out hopefully the next, I would believe, before the first game of the season starts. But who knows how long it's going to take. So, again, Jeff Goodman, quit putting out articles and making us fans mad. Just wait until facts are out.
Garbage, man. Straight garbage.
Yes.
Quit trying to be a tabloid reporter, Goodman. Good Lord. You used to be good. Now you're not.
Yeah.
Jeez. So maybe the I don't know what's going to come out first, the investigation or the presidential election.
We'll see how that pans out.
Oh, so and so.
Yeah. So, all right, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like our video. If you're a Wichita State fan or any other college basketball fan, you want to comment underneath on this, go ahead and do that. We will have more shows coming up. We will see you guys in the near future. Thank you.